Hello, I'm meteorologist Danielle Moss with a weather impact update for you. Today has definitely already been a busy day all across Metro Atlanta and really all across North Georgia. Here's a live look into Midtown this afternoon. You can see some pretty heavy rain showers still continuing to happen right now. You can see the raindrops on the camera. We are continuing to monitor these storms as they push through Metro Atlanta and through East Georgia, right? Really now. Here is a look into our tower camera. It is a wet mess out there. Severe weather still continuing to push through. We are almost done with the severe weather threat. So that's the good news for you. Here's a look at our close radar. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit so we can see exactly what's going on and what we are tracking and who is up next as far as the rainfall is concerned. As far as severe weather, most of that threat has diminished because the atmosphere is becoming a little bit more stable. But as we take a look at some of these storms, you can see very small little green boxes. That means that those are flash flood warnings. That's one of our main concerns right now is the flooding potential. That's the one thing that we're going to continue to watch, not just right now, but really for the next few hours going into the rest of your evening. Right now, the main edge of this storm has already passed through Metro Atlanta. It is heading off to the east. So if you are in Athens, your rainfall is just now starting, just now really getting underway. Here in Metro Atlanta, we still do have some pretty heavy rain showers that we're going to continue to monitor. But as far as high winds, the potential for severe weather, that is almost diminished completely. One area that I do want to bring your attention to are those flood warnings that we're continuing to monitor because that will be our main concern throughout the next few hours. We've already heard of multiple reports of flooded roads, trees down, information that you all need to know before you head out this Saturday afternoon. It's 12:36 p.m. Some people might not have even gotten their Saturday started, and that's fine, but we do want to make sure that you are safe as you plan the rest of your evening. So we're going to click around and get you some information on exactly what we are expecting and what we are tracking. This is a flash flood warning for Dawson, Lumpkin, and Pickens County. This warning is going to be going for quite some time. So the difference with these flash flood warnings is they put them in place for a few hours because even though that rain will stop, there is a risk for the flood threat to continue. So this flash flood warning is going to go until 5 p.m. this evening. So if you are in Dawson, Lumpkin, and Pickens County, just a heads up, this is really affecting Dahlonega, Dawsonsville, and Juneau. Once again, this is a flash flood warning for those areas. I'm going to clear this off of the screen and I will bring you the next flash flood warning. This one is in North Georgia, in the North Georgia mountains. This is for Rabun County specifically. It is impacting Clayton, Mountain City, and Tiger, and that is until 3:30 p.m. So this one was issued a little bit earlier than that first one that we just read off that was impacting Gainesville. And then there is one that is a little bit closer to Metro Atlanta. So let me get you that information. I'll move this over here, zoom in a little bit more. This one is for Cherokee County, Canton, Holly Springs, and Woodstock. So Cherokee County, this is an observed flash flooding. We have seen a number of reports coming out of Cherokee County of flooded roads. Many of the secondary streets in Cherokee County are overwhelmed. They are flooding at this time. So you need to make sure that you are using extra caution in Cherokee County right now, and it is getting really close to Bartow County as well. Looks like 4:30 p.m. That's when this flash flood warning will be over, and that does include Cherokee County. That's the closest one right now to Metro Atlanta. And then there is also one, there is a secondary one right next door in Bartow County, like I was telling you. And this is for Cartersville and White. This is an observed flash flood warning. And this one also goes until 3:30 p.m. So those are the flash flood warnings. We have 4 of them. That was Cherokee County, Bartow County, as well as portions of Pickens County and even in Rabun County in the North Georgia mountains. That's our main concern right now. As far as the tornado threat, what we look at are the wind speeds and the winds that are working against each other, right? Because you need that rotation to really make a tornado. So are we looking at a tornado threat, Danielle? That's what everybody wants to know. So I'll zoom back out and I'll give you some more information on that. As of right now, we are thinking that the actual rotation threat is over. Unfortunately, that flash flooding threat is not quite yet. So we take a look at our wind speeds. This is a look at some of those winds that work against each other. And what you want to see is those red and greens and really, really close together. So even though you're seeing red and green over here, that's not what we're really looking for. You would really be able to see some of that classic rotation, and we're not seeing that anymore. That threat is almost complete, which is great news. But the flooding threat, that will be continuing as well. In fact, I'm going to read some of these bulletins that are happening in the National Weather Service chat that we are in with a lot of our partners that have emergency managers in here. We have a lot of officials that are in this group, along with the National Weather Service meteorologists, that they can communicate. We all can communicate and make sure that we're getting the information out to the public and making sure that everyone is aware of what's going on. For instance, I just read you that flash flood warning for Pickens County. It does say that multiple secondary roads in Pickens County, this is coming from the emergency manager, are closed, including low water crossings. The good news is no structures have been affected, no injuries are reported. However, they have been seeing reports of more than 5 inches of rain in some parts. And in fact, in downtown Jasper, there's been more than 6 inches of rain there. Also, this is a general update. This is coming in from the National Weather Service. It says, excluding the Columbus area, the line of storms is generally less unstable. Like I was telling you, that means that the severe weather threat is just not really there anymore, except for in Columbus, Georgia. So if you're watching this and you know someone in Columbus, make sure that they are aware that that definitely is still a possibility. Wind shear still plentiful, so that means that the winds could definitely be on the higher side. This is looking towards I-20. So if we zoom out just a little bit, this is going to be that main leading edge of the storm right here near Madison, going towards Lake Oconee, near Crawfordsville, and heading towards Greensboro. So it's almost out of our viewing area. However, I'm going to continue to watch it with you to just make sure that everything is okay for people who are in East Georgia. And in Lumpkin County, there's been reports of flooding there as well. But as of right now, those are our only things that we are seeing currently, right? So I'm going to change some of our cameras so that you all can see some more of what's actually happening outside of your window. We also have a reporter that is headed to Coweta County, because if you were watching us a few minutes ago, Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb and Meteorologist Nicole, they were tracking that tornado warning that happened for Coweta County and Carroll County. And it does look like, unfortunately, we did see a classic tornado signature. We call it a debris ball. That kind of lets us know that there has been debris lofted in the air. So a tornado will make contact with the ground, and then we can see on our radar this indication that there could have been some type of tornado. So that's one of the things that we continue to watch when we're tracking these severe storms, because even if it's not a tornado, even if it's straight line winds, that is something that we have to make sure that we're watching, because that means that the winds could carry whatever it's got in the air and cause damage. And so right now we are getting a lot of damage reports currently coming in from Coweta County. So that's one thing that we're going to continue to watch. We're going to see if we can hear from the emergency manager, hear from the fire chief, hear from the people that are boots on the ground, getting the information that we need to know so that we can figure out what's going on there and make sure everyone is safe. As of right now, I will say one of our great story desk editors, he has been on top of this as well, trying to get this information out. It takes a lot to get us on air and to get all this information together, and we have a lot of people who are working behind the scenes to really help us out. In fact, as far as the Coweta damage is concerned, he did speak to the Coweta fire chief, and they told him that there's a tree on the house and no injuries. There was a car that has been thrown onto a house, and there are some minor injuries. They did take someone to the hospital, and they are working to make sure that no one else is injured. There are at least 7,000 people without power there in Coweta County, and that is huge. That is a lot of people in Coweta County without power. So I'm going to take you through some of our cameras first, then we'll talk about some more of the storm damage reports that have come in already this morning. We'll take another look at that radar, and we'll get you some more information about what's going on. This is a look at some of our cameras that are happening right now. I wish I could show you the airport camera, but back here it just does not pull up. This is a look into our Echo Park Speedway camera, it is definitely raining very hard there as well. You can kind of see some of the ponding there in the grassy area, but it's not really a lot of rain collection. Blue Ridge Mountains, they haven't gotten a lot of rain. However, you know, it's still wet outside, but you can see people are walking around enjoying downtown Blue Ridge right now. They're not going to get the worst of it. The worst of that weather has already passed through, and unfortunately we did see some reports of what happened in West Georgia. Here is a look into Rome this evening. It's starting to rain a little bit less there. You can see that the flags aren't blowing as strongly, so that means that the winds are starting to be a little bit calmer as well. So even in Noonan, here's a look at our Noonan camera. Things are starting to settle down just a little bit. It's not raining as hard, but it is still actively raining. I'm going to put this back onto our Midtown camera so that you all can see what's happening here in Metro Atlanta. This is a look into Metro Atlanta. It's raining harder here than it is in North Georgia, as well as moving through Noonan. Put those cameras down, bring back up the radar, and I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. And then I will do a little drawing, a little investigating so that you all can see exactly what we're talking about, where the main leading edge of this storm is actually located. It goes from about I-20 to I-75 back down into Columbus. Okay. Well, that did not turn out too pretty. Let's erase that and do that again. Okay, so this is your leading edge of the storm here. So it goes back into I-20 down I-75 and then even going back towards Columbus. But as of right now, as far as severe weather is concerned, for our viewing area, if you live in an area that gets us on TV, you are not going to be seeing any more really huge impacts other than flooding. That will be our main concern now going forward for the rest of this evening. If you see me looking down at my phone, I'm just making sure that I'm getting the latest information. All of this stuff is coming in from the National Weather Service, and I want to make sure that you guys are updated and on, you know, the same page with me so that you all can know exactly what you're looking for and what threats are out there. Let's take a closer look here along I-20 and I-75. This is the area that I probably would say that I am most concerned about being on the stronger side. And I will draw another type of a line so that you all can see. This area is where I would say that I would keep my eye on, right along this leading edge, which is going right down through I-75 South. It hasn't gotten to Forsyth just yet, but it is headed that way. Barnesville as well, getting some really heavy rain. This is where I'm seeing is probably the strongest portion of that storm as of right now. So that is south of Griffin, south of Jackson, going towards I-75 southbound, even going towards Forsyth, maybe seeing even some increased rain in the next, I would say, hour or so. As of right now, we're not looking at any severe weather for that area. However, whenever we see this big kind of group and really this leading edge of storms, this little area here, that is where we have to watch for those really high winds, right? We start to see organization of that nature. And right now, it still looks a little bit rigid, so that's good news. That means that that severe weather potential will be a little bit limited. However, that is something that we'll have to continue to watch for at least the next 30 minutes or so, just to make sure that everything is clear in that area. So right now, flooding is going to be your main concern. That is the main line of area that I would say is probably going to be seeing highest of the winds. Everywhere else, I would say that you're almost clear from the severe weather. You need to just make sure that you are being very, very cautious when you're on those roadways, because there are a lot of areas that have flooding, and we're going to continue to see that potential of flooding continue. So just make sure that you are aware of that. Right now, I'll take a little bit of a break and I'll come back on around 1 o'clock, maybe 1:15, so that you guys know about the latest information. But for now, I'll return you back to some of our radar loops. I just want to make sure that we are all on the same page. Severe weather threat is diminishing. It's not quite over, but it's diminishing. The flash flooding threat will be continuing for the next few hours. I'm meteorologist Danielle Moss. I'll turn on some more of these radar loops that you all can get a better understanding of what's happening. You guys can track the weather a little bit on your own.